Although I'm sure all these tips are really going to help you, only use one of them at a time, alright? Now, who better to start us off on this tape than one of my more promising students, Nick Price, who will help us to get to grips with the grip. Right, now, the thing that I see mostly with many players is the fact that they grip the club too much in the palm. Now, I've just hijacked this glove from one of these players that has a poor grip. I promise you it's not my glove. And we can see the wear up here, and that's simply because the fact the club is too much in the palm and there's a lot of motion, a lot of movement with the club during the swing.
Right.
And this is very, very common. And big problem is, unless you set your left hand, and particularly your left hand on the club correctly, you're not going to be able to use your hands correctly, not going to be able to get the wrist action right, and causes a whole host of bad shots. So let's have a look at your left hand, see how you position it.
Well, one of the things that I've always tried to do, David, with my left hand is to hold the club parallel to the ground right out in front of me here. I have the thumb going down the center of the shaft, a cup in the left wrist, and I can see 1, 2 knuckles.
Right, now let's just open this left hand and have a look where it is. And you can see it's across the palm, through that first finger here, and basically it is a palm grip, but it's also in the latter stages, or the lower part of the hand, in the fingers. So it's not purely a palm grip. And this will enable you, by gripping it in this position, and we can just see here, if I can just show the difference. So instead of having it running through there, it's now running there. It'll enable me to really get my wrist action working correctly. So important in a good golf swing.
Right.
What else do you feel? Do you feel any sort of pressure in maybe your last 3 fingers?
Well, I've always tried to grip it a little tighter in my last 3 fingers, and one of the reasons I come down the grip a little bit, not at the top here, is to make sure that I have these last 3 fingers on the club.
Right. Now the right hand, certainly the left hand's the most important, but the right hand, I see problems with many golfers who tend to grip it too much in the palm, and also the right hand's too far up the club. It's too short a grip, in other words.
Right, and what happens is, even though you may have a good swing, when you come in through to impact, the club face is going to turn because your right hand wants to go back to the square position, and it's going to close the club face. You're going to hook the ball. On the other hand, you might make a compensation and come through with your shoulders a little higher and hold on this way, and the ball is now going to go to the right.
Let's have a look at your right hand grip there and just see how you place it.
Well, as you can see, I've got it in the base of my fingers here, not too much in the palm like this, in the base of the fingers, and the lifeline here now comes over the top of the left thumb, and you can see the right thumb and forefinger, a little bit of a pinch.
Yeah, so see, the right hand looks like it sits fairly long on the club, and the hands, the whole key with the hands is to let them work as a unit. Remember, they control the club face, maybe involuntarily so. In other words, you don't consciously try to control it, but wherever your hands are, they're going to control the club face. I think it's a good point to mention too, there are a lot of great players who do have maybe what we would call substandard grips, but they hit so many thousands of balls and they're so talented that they are able to sort of compensate for it. But basically, I mean, good golf begins with a good grip, no question.
Absolutely.